Solar wax melter on a sunny day in June. All the wax in the collection red biscuit box tray there is liquid because the temperature inside is so hot now, and if you look at the lip, it's actually dripping off. And it's running out of the comb, the old monkey comb that's in that old pillowcase, and dripping as lovely clean wax down there, and later on that will set as a solid lump of wax. The dark underneath the wax there is some old, probably quite burnt honey that's run out too, but that's fine because when the wax sets, that will be underneath, easily washable off. It takes several hours in the hot sun for the solar wax melter interior to get really hot. That's why I haven't opened the lid to show you the contents in the various video clips, because I don't want to let that heat out. But when it does reach wax melting temperature, which is around 63 degrees centigrade, and of course higher than that, the wax melts out of the comb fairly quickly. So I leave that alone for the rest of the day and come back to it the next morning when the wax is cool. Inside the solar wax melter, all this comb is mostly now just the cell larval skins and cell linings and stuff, not really wax left on it. And there is the wax. It won't be very thick piece because you don't get that much out of old comb, but it's definitely worth reclaiming and nicely clean. Here's the wax wrestled out of its tub. It is worth noting that a plastic tub like that biscuit tub I use is useful because the wax is going to set and it's going to cling to the sides of the tub, so having something you can flex to get the wax out of it is useful rather than a solid metal tray. It's not a terribly thick piece of wax. It did have the dirty honey mark, and I've washed that off, and you can pick out the odd dirty bit. So it's pretty much ready for making into candles, that piece. Although to clean it up perfectly, I will send it through the 2 aluminium foil trays in a J-cloth trick in the oven, which involves a foil roasting tray like this and another one that you have put some holes in. So keep your holes centre-ish, not too far out to either edge, because it's going to sit on top of that one in the oven. Bit of J-cloth, just one layer thick, trimmed down to J-cloth, and you put your wax on top of that, and as it melts the wax will drip down through, come out the holes and set in that bottom tray, and you won't have any grubby bits left at all. All set to go. Let's put it in the oven. 120 on a fan oven, no higher, because I think the wax burns any higher than that. And there you are. The wax has melted from the top, has dripped down through, going through the J-cloth, which has caught all the little bits, and in the bottom there you've got pretty pure clean wax. So just leave that to cool before I move it. Don't want to move it in those very flimsy aluminium foil trays while you've got a lot of baking hot wax there. And it's starting to set now, so you can see all the grub on the cloth. A few drops there I'll pop off later. The wax is quite pale as it's still very warm. As it sets, I expect it to go much more yellow. Sets and cools, I should say, because actually that's still pretty warm at the moment. Yeah, I wouldn't want to keep my hand on that too long. I wouldn't be surprised if there isn't liquid wax at the bottom of that slab, so leave it a bit longer. Here's the final result. Set, cool, and a beautiful colour. And very clean on both sides.